Today we will discuss one of Japan's most infamous criminal cases, the case of Tatsuya Ichihashi and the murder of Lindsay Ann Hawker. This case shook both Japan and the United Kingdom. It led to an international manhunt that lasted over 2 years. The purpose of this video is to provide a detailed account of the case, to understand what happened and how it impacted society. We will cover the background of both the victim and the perpetrator, the events leading up to the crime, the investigation and the legal consequences. This video aims to shed light on the lessons learned from this tragic incident. This case had a profound impact on Japan's legal and social landscape. It raised concerns about the safety of foreign residents and the effectiveness of law enforcement in handling high-profile fugitives. The case also highlighted issues related to fugitive tracking and border security. The pursuit of justice for Lindsay Ann Hawker was a long and complex process. It involved cooperation between Japanese and international authorities. The crime took place in March 2007 in Ichikawa, Chiba Prefecture, a quiet suburban area just outside Tokyo. Lindsay Ann Hawker was a 22-year-old British English teacher. She was found murdered in an apartment belonging to Tatsuya Ichihashi. Her body was discovered in a bathtub filled with sand. Her death shocked Japan and led to one of the most intense manhunts in recent history. This is the beginning of our detailed examination of the case. Next, we will explore the background of both Lindsay Ann Hawker and Tatsuya Ichihashi to understand the circumstances that led to this tragic crime. Tatsuya Ichihashi was born in 1979 in Japan. He grew up in a wealthy family and attended a well-regarded university. Despite his privileged background, he struggled to maintain stable employment. He lived a reclusive life, avoiding social interactions and forming few meaningful relationships. His behavior often raised concerns among those who knew him, but no one foresaw the darkness within him. Lindsay Ann Hawker was a bright and ambitious young woman from the United Kingdom. She moved to Japan to work as an English teacher, embracing the opportunity to experience a new culture. She was known for her kindness, dedication, and enthusiasm for teaching. Her students and colleagues admired her, and she quickly built a life she loved in Japan. Their paths crossed in an unexpected and fateful encounter. One day, Ichihashi approached Lindsay on the street asking for an English lesson. He appeared polite and persistent, leaving her with little reason to refuse. Agreeing to meet at a cafe, she planned to help him with his English skills. However, Ichihashi had sinister intentions that would soon unfold in a horrific manner. On the day of their scheduled meeting, Lindsay met Ichihashi at a cafe near his apartment. He told her that he had forgotten his money at home and asked to return to his residence to retrieve it. Trusting him, Lindsay agreed, and they got a taxi together to his apartment complex. Once inside the apartment, Ichihashi suddenly overpowered Lindsay. She was held captive, unable to escape or call for help. For hours she endured a terrifying ordeal as Ichihashi kept her confined within his residence. Desperate to avoid detection, Ichihashi took extreme measures to silence Lindsay. Ultimately, he ended her life, leaving her body inside a bathtub filled with sand in an attempt to conceal the crime. Days later, Lindsay's absence raised alarms among her colleagues and loved ones. Concerned for her safety, they reported her missing to the authorities. Police swiftly traced her last known location, leading them to Ichihashi's apartment. Upon arriving at the scene, they made a chilling discovery. Lindsay's lifeless body was found hidden inside a bathtub placed on the balcony. Realizing he had been discovered, Ichihashi fled on foot, evading capture for years. Ichihashi managed to elude authorities despite extensive search efforts. He altered his appearance, undergoing plastic surgery to avoid recognition. He moved from place to place, taking on temporary jobs and living under false identities. For over 2 years, police continued their search, following leads from the public and security footage. The case received widespread media coverage, with authorities urging the public to provide any information. In 2009, a crucial breakthrough occurred when Ichihashi visited a medical clinic for further cosmetic procedures. A staff member recognized him from wanted posters and alerted the police. Shortly after, Ichihashi was apprehended, bringing an end to his long and desperate escape. With his capture, the legal process finally began shedding light on the full extent of his action. The trial would become one of the most closely followed in recent Japanese history. Ichihashi was charged with multiple offenses, including murder and rape. His defense team argued that the killing was not premeditated. They claimed that Lindsay's death was accidental during an attempt to restrain her. The prosecution countered with evidence showing signs of struggle and intent to kill. The court examined forensic reports, witness testimonies, and Ichihashi's own statements. In 2011, after a lengthy trial, Ichihashi was sentenced to life imprisonment. The verdict brought some closure to Lindsay's grieving family, but also raised questions about Japan's legal system. Many believed that the sentence was too lenient given the brutality of the crime. The case continued to influence discussions on justice and sentencing standards in Japan. Lindsay's parents actively campaigned for stronger protections for foreign nationals living in Japan. Her legacy remains as a reminder of the importance of safety measures for international residents. The memory of Lindsay Ann Hawker continues to inspire efforts toward justice and safety. Her family has worked tirelessly to raise awareness about personal safety for young people abroad. The case has also left a lasting mark on Japan's legal system, leading to reforms in fugitive tracking and international cooperation. Tatsuya Ichihashi remains incarcerated serving his life sentence. His actions and the tragedy of Lindsay Ann Hawker serve as a solemn reminder of the fragility of life. Through remembering her story, we continue to push for a world where safety and justice prevail.